Soumya this side. Welcome back to my channel. So before starting, please I would like to request all of you to subscribe to my channel if you have not already subscribed. Your one subscription can mean a lot to me. Okay, so now in today's video, I am going to cover the two topics which were left in configuration and setup, and these are data security, role hierarchy, and sharing rules. So I'm going to explain in detail each and everything. So let's start. Now, as you all know that I love Trailhead, so again I am on Trailhead website, and here you can get a module of data security. So the same admin certification which I was following, so there is a module in that which is data security. You can just go through that, and then I'm going to start. So now, first of all, what is data security? In a layman words, like in a common term, we say that securing our data, right? This is what data security is. And now, why do we need to do that? Because we have different people in the organization, right? So when we have an organization, we have different kind of roles. We have HRs, we have recruiters, we have employees, and we have managers. In employees we have managers, directors, senior directors, and then there are a lot of sensitive information of the company. So we don't want everyone to view that information, right? This is just one example of an information. So we don't want everyone to look that sensitive information. So what we do is that we prepare a sharing model in such a way that only the people who want to see that information should be able to see, and the for the others it should not come, right? So let's start. Now we have different levels of data access in Salesforce. So one is organization wide. Okay, so for example, the best example is the set password policies. Okay, so this is the best example. So whenever anyone is logging into our organization, so this password policy is same for everyone. So this is what is organization wide, that for the whole organization. Okay, what is set for the whole organization. Then we have the data access for objects. Okay, now as I already discussed in my previous video, so in Salesforce everything is an object. So we talk about accounts, we talk about contacts, leads, even chatter groups, right? So chatter is also an object in Salesforce. So now how to access the object level data. So this is done through permission and permission sets. Okay, so I have already made a separate video for permission set and permission set groups. Okay, I have created the permission sets, and then how we can give object level and field level access through permission set and permission set groups. Okay, and also we can mute the access through permission set mute groups. So that is also described in that video. Okay, so this is how we give the object level access. We give through permission set and permission set groups. Okay, and now what access we give is, we can give creating, viewing, editing, deleting the records. Okay, so a person can create, view, edit, or delete the records. Now if we don't want person to create, we just want a person to view, so we can give only view. Okay, if we want everything, we can give everything. So it depends on us what kind of access we want to give to that particular user. Okay, now field level permission. Now again, the field level permission is that, suppose a person has access to the object. Okay, so object is like a table. So suppose for now I will say that a table called as account. Okay, I'm sorry, so suppose we have a table called account. Now that is the object, right? But there are certain fields which we don't want all the users to view. So it can be anything like account, anything related to cost, or any sensitive information like SSN or something. So we want some people to restrict that field. Now how that restriction is possible? So that is also done through permission set and permission set groups. Okay, so they have given an example here. They are saying that you can make the bonus fields in a position object invisible to interviewers but visible to the hiring manager and recruiters. Okay, so this is one example. So we can have different scenarios in different organizations, but we can do it also through permission set and permission set groups. Okay. Now this is a very a very important question for admin exam point of view, as well as when you will work in an organization. So they will ask that how you can set the object level access and field level access in Salesforce. So we set the object level and field level access through permission sets and permission set groups. Okay. And how do we do that? There is a complete tutorial again in my permission set and permission set groups video. So please go through that, then you will come to know the exact process. Now we come to records. Okay. Now in fields also we have records, right? So how we can manage, how so what they're saying is you can allow particular users to view an object, but then restrict the individual object records they are allowed to see. Okay. Now what is the scenario in this case? They're saying, for example, there is an interviewer. Okay. An interviewer can see and edit his own reviews, right? So he's taking an interview and he want to give reviews to different candidates, so he can see and edit his own reviews, but not the reviews of other interviewers, right? So he is not allowed to edit the reviews, or even in some cases he's not allowed to see the reviews of other interviewers. Okay. So how we manage that? We manage that through four levels. Okay. So there are four ways we can manage the record level access. Okay. And this is again a very important question for admin point of view. They ask, they can just give three names, and they will not give one name, and they will give some wrong name, fourth name, and they you have to take that wrong name. Okay. So let's study what is organization wide default, role hierarchies, sharing rules, and manual sharing. Okay. And we are going to do hands on for each one of them, to explain you that how exactly it works. So org wide default is the most restrictive level. Okay. It is the most restrictive level, because org wide default says that this is the default level of access. Okay. Users have to each other's records. That is the default level. That is org wide. Okay. So now that means that if you don't want even one person to view the record in the organization, you have to make this setting as private. Okay. Even if it is just for one person, because this is the most restrictive level. Now we come to role hierarchies. So role hierarchy is that, like a role of a CEO. So for example, there is a CEO of the company. So that CEO has access, should have access to all the records, right? And under that CEO is the senior director, then manager. Under managers there are a lot of employees. So manager should have access to all the employees data. Okay. But not to the data of director and senior director, right? So similarly, the senior director can have access to data of director and manager and employees, but not to the data of the CEO. So this is how the role hierarchy comes into place. So we are going to make a role hierarchy, and I'm going to show you that how exactly it works. Okay. And then sharing rules. Now again, sharing rules is that there can be some exceptions for particular group of users. There can be some exceptions, right? That we want them for some particular access, which we don't want to other users, right? So suppose in role hierarchy also, suppose there are five directors. Okay. And among that five directors there is one exception, for one of them, that whom we want to give some access, right? So then the sharing rules will come into place, and like the role hierarchies, they're only used to give additional access. Okay. Only the additional user access. We are not taking away the access, we are just giving some additional access through sharing rules. Okay. And then lastly is the manual sharing. Manually is always done when it is something temporary. Okay. So for example, you are going for vacation, you are a manager, you're going for vacation for a long period of time, 15 days or something, and a lot of request comes to you for approving the leaves of other employees. Okay. If you are on vacation for 15 days, you cannot access your system for 15 days. Okay. But that doesn't mean that no employee will get leave approved, right? So what you will do, you will make some temporary person in your group responsible that, you, I will give this access to you, and for this duration you can have this. So this is what manual sharing looks like, which is done in temporary scenarios. So now let's go to the practical. So this is controlling access to the, or controlling access to the object. Now access to the object is again the permission and permission sets. Okay, so you can go through that video, and you can see again access to fields is same, permission and permission set groups. Now we come to control access to the records. Okay, now we go to the record level security. As we already discussed, there are four levels. This is the beautiful way of representing those four levels. Okay, so look how they have represented it. That the most restrictive one comes here. Okay, so this is the most restrictive one, and then the visibility opens up. As we go up, the visibility will open. So then the role hierarchy will come, and then even in the role hierarchy, if something is not possible and there are some exceptions to it, then sharing rules will come, and then finally the manual sharing. So this is how the visibility will open up. Okay, now what we are going to do is that we are going to do some org wide defaults hands on in this video. Okay, so these are the org wide defaults. One is private, public read only, public read write, and controlled by parent. Okay, private is that only the record owner and the users above the role can view, edit, and report on these records. Okay, so that then we will go for private. Public is that only all users can view and report. Okay, but no one can edit it. Only the owner or the users above the role of the owner can edit them. Okay, but no one can but everyone can view them. Okay, public read and write is all users can view, edit, and report on all the records. And controlled by parent, so controlled by parent is a user can view, edit, or delete a record if they can perform that same action on the object it belongs to. Okay, so that is, it is controlled by the parent. Now let's see. I would really recommend you that to go through this tutorial and see, step by step. It's a lot of good theory here. Okay, and they are saying that what are the questions we need to ask, who is the most restricted user. I mean, this is really good. So I would really suggest that go and read it all. Okay, and then come on this hands on and do this hands on. Okay, so first of all, this hands on is for org wide defaults. Okay, what we learned were the four ways. Okay, for the record level. Okay, this is the record level. We have org wide defaults, we have role hierarchy, we have sharing rules, and we have manual sharing. So we are doing the org wide defaults hands on here. Okay, so let me launch this playground first. So I'm going to launch it. And so first they are saying that we have to create a custom object here. Okay, because for that custom object I will show you that how we can give the org wide defaults. So to create a custom object, we go to setup, and we go to the object manager, we click on custom object, and then what is the name of the object? 1 minute, let's see, it is referral. Okay, so let's give this name, and then this s for the plural, and then this is description. If we want, we can give this description, and rest all, I think, object name, record name. So this is the record name, this is coming, and the object name is coming. Okay, and then record name data type is text. Okay, so let's do the type as text, so it is coming as text only. Okay, now we can save this object. So I'm going to save this object. Okay, and then I'm going to go in object manager, and I'm going to search for it to see that even, if it is created or not. Now see, this custom object is created, and it is coming with this c. Okay, so c means that it has a suffix of c, which means that it is a custom object. Good. Now, what we have to do is configure org wide default sharing settings for this referral object, so that the referral records are visible only to the record owner. Okay. So for only to the record owner, what we will do, we will do the setting as private. Okay, so what I will do is I am going to go on setup and sharing settings. So here is the sharing settings where the org by default comes. So it comes something like this. This is the org by defaults. Okay. So as you can see, for each and every object, you can see it is here. Okay. Now I'm going to search for objects. So I am going to search for the referral object, right? So sorry, I think something, I clicked something else. That's okay. But I don't see here referral account opportunities. Okay, I got it. So this is referral. Okay, now what I will do is I will edit. So I am going to edit it, and they are saying go to, let me search here again. Okay, this is the referral. Okay, now what I am going to do here is private. Okay, because they are saying that configure org wide default sharing setting, and it should be visible only to the record owner. Okay, so this is org wide setting default internal access. Okay, and we did it as private, and now I'm going to save it. So this is the only step they are saying we have to do here. This is how we set the org by default setting for any object. If you want to set, you can just come here and then you can click on edit, and then you can change this default internal access. Okay, also if you will see here, there are sharing rules. Look, they have sharing rules, lead sharing rule, account sharing rules. So if we want to create a sharing rule, we will come here in the sharing settings only, and we will create a new rule, and then a rule will be created, which we will do in the following hands-on. Now the second one is they are saying ki configure the sharing settings so that referral records aren't visible to users above the owner in the role hierarchy. Okay, so this is a thing which is we have to configure of the role hierarchy, but not right now because we don't have the role hierarchy set up. So first we have to set up, and then we can do. So I'm going to check this challenge for now, and let's see that if we did everything okay or not. So that's why I recommend Trailhead, because if we are missing any step, then it will automatically, it will tell us, and then we can go and do it. Okay, so I think this is done. Let's move on to the next unit. Now this is creating a role hierarchy. Now again, I'm telling you, this we are doing for record access. Okay, the org wide default also we did for record access, and now the role hierarchy also we are doing for the record access. Okay, for object and field level access, we use permission and permission set and permission set groups. Okay, but for the record level, we use role hierarchy, sharing rules, and also the org by defaults we just did. Now let's go here and create a role hierarchy. This is how a role hierarchy looks like. Okay, so it is kind of a, like a parent and child kind of relationship. So same way, so CEO should be able to access all the records. Now VP of development should be able to access under this, these six records. VP of human resources should be able to access only these recruiter records. Okay, and now this recruiter manager should be able to access the recruiter record. So this is how it happens. And the ones who are lowest in the hierarchy, so for example this product manager or this engineer, so they will okay, so they will not have access to anyone's record. Okay, they if there is no one under them, then they will not have access to anyone's record. Okay, now I think they are asking us to create this role hierarchy. Okay, and this is how it looks like in Salesforce role hierarchy. Okay, so we have to go in setup, and in setup we will search for a role. Okay, and I will go here roles, and I will go to setup roles. This is how it looks like. If I will expand all, it will get expanded. So this is what we have by default. I have not created anything here. This is what we get by default. Okay, now let's create something. So what they are asking to create is some onboarding manager, I think. So I am not sure that Okay, I think first we need to do these steps for this, the steps which are written here. Okay, and then we have to do the hands-on. So let's go from setup. Set roles. If you see introductory specialist and set up the roles, okay, we are already here. When you start defining a role hierarchy, the tree displays. From this point, you must add the name of the role that is highest up in the hierarchy, in this case the CEO. Okay, in the playground some roles are already defined. Click expand all. We already did this expand all. Now under the VP human resources, click add role. So we have to add one role, which is this onboarding manager. They are saying under the VP. So VP is here, and VP of human resources. So this is the SVP. VP. I think it is SVP only or VP. Under the VP Human Resources, VP Development. Okay, let me collapse this so that I will be able to see more. So this is the VP. I think I don't have this role right now, right? We have the SVP, but in the SVP we don't have the VP role. Okay, so that's okay. What we will do is that uh, where they're having this VP role under CEO. Okay, so I'm going to create this VP role under CEO, not here. So I'm going to cancel this for now. So under CEO only, I'm going to add a role which is known as VP of Human Resources. So let me add this role first. Okay, so I'm going to label this as this, and then I'm going to save this role. Okay, so now again I'll go to my role hierarchy, and I will see that under CEO I have a role called VP Human Resources. This is what we need. Now under this I will add one more role, which is the onboarding manager. Okay, so I'm going to add a role here, add role, and the role is onboarding manager, and I'm going to save it. Okay, so now this is how my role hierarchy looks like. If I will go VP of human resources and then this onboarding manager. Now they are saying the role name auto populates with this underscore. Okay, in the this role reports to text box, uh, leave the VP Human Resources role populated, and the role name as displayed on the report. Optionally enter a value. Okay, this is all about that role. This text is used. Okay, I think they're asking me to enter something else, and which is in the role name as is placed on reports. Optionally enter a values this text. Okay, in the reports, if you want, leave any other options such as contact access set to the defaults and click on save. I think I did everything correct. Okay, only the this role reports to text box. So let's go and see where that text box come. Okay, reports to, so it came automatically, right? Because we are creating under it, so it is coming automatically. Okay, that's okay. And then leave as it is, click save. These access options won't affect a recruiting app. Now that you created your role, you can assign the appropriate user to it. Click the onboarding manager and click assign users to role. Oh, okay. So now okay, and they are saying you created your role, you can assign the appropriate user to it. Click onboarding manager and assign users to role. In the available user, select all unassign. Okay, so now I am going to assign the users here. I'm going to click on it and assign users. Okay, now actually there okay, so they are asking me to assign some user, but I don't have any user set up in this um okay, and that's okay. I am going to, what I will do is I'm going to add a user here quickly. Okay, and I can then assign that user. So because I am not getting any user here, right? So selected users for onboarding manager. Yeah, and that's okay. That's how that's how it is. So let me create a user, And this is how we do hands on. That's why I really advise everyone to use to do the hands on. Because okay, we already have a user here, but since the role is this, okay, that's why we are not getting. Because they are saying that choose a user from the list and add click to move to this list. Okay, so what we will do is we can also do one thing, that is, and let's try it. Okay, I have also not tried it, but I think we can try it. So we can do this as onboarding manager. Okay, and then we can save it. If I will do this, then I think automatically here that should come, right? So let's check now in the role. And here I am in the roles. I am in the setup roles and I'm going to click on it. And look, this user is already assigned because there was one user and that user was assigned to some other role, and I just edited it and I just gave this name, this same uh, role, right? So now this user is here. This is how we do, and that's why I love doing hands on Trailhead, because we get to know a lot of things. Okay, now this is done. In the available user, select all unassigned, choose a user from the list and add. So we did that. If you return to the main rows, you can now see the role hierarchy. Okay, so you can see it now. Now let's see what they are saying here. Create the recruiter manager role. Recruiter manager reports to VP. Label, create the recruiter role. Okay, now we have to create one more role, which is the recruiter role here. Okay, 1 minute. Recruiter manager role, first of all we have to create. VP of human resource. So VP of human resources here. Let's add one more, which is the recruiter manager, and it is reporting to VP of. Okay, and I'm going to save it. And now we have to make one more role. Okay, which is um just a minute. Let's go to this. So this is the recruiter manager, and then they are saying one more role is recruiter, and this recruiter is reporting to recruiting manager. So we have here recruiting manager, right? And so we are going to add this role in under this, which is recruiter. Okay, and we are going to save. It is going to report to recruiting manager. Now if we see our role hierarchy, the one which we created right now. Okay, so this is what we created. We created VP of human resources, then we created two of them under onboarding manager and recruiting manager, and then inside the recruiting manager we have a recruiter. And also if I'll click on onboarding manager, we assigned this name, this onboarding manager role to a user. So this is all what we need to do in this hands on. Now let me check this challenge. This is how we create a role hierarchy. Role hierarchy is very important in any organization because of the record level access, right? So it is very important to see that who has access to what record. Okay, now this is done. Now let's go to the next step, which is about sharing rules. Okay, so I already showed you in the sharing settings that how we can like add a sharing rule. And now we are going to do hands on to this. Okay, so what they are saying is, look, they are saying that here are the key sharing rules to define for the recruiting app. So actually they already created an app, recruiting app. Okay, and then they are doing everything for that app. So the permission set, when you will do the whole hands on for permission set and permission set groups, you will have everything here. Okay, so they are going to, we already have this object which is known as review. This object we already have, right? But we don't have the rest objects. Okay, so when you will do the practicals, you will have all the objects. I also have all the object, but that is in my other hands-on org. Okay, so I did those practicals in my other org, and now I am in my different Salesforce org. Okay, so I will do whatever is in here only. Now what they are saying is that to create a public group. Okay, now we have another concept which is known as public group. Okay, now what is a public group? So it is, public group is like a collection of users. So we can have individual users there. Okay, we can have roles, we can have territories. So we can create a group. Okay, similarly like a group we have created of, but that group can comprise of other groups also. It can comprise of other other users also, other roles also, and other territories also. Okay, so we have grouped them together, and that is known as a public group. Okay, so now um, uh, when we are creating a sharing rule, right, it asks us that whom you have to assign this sharing rule. Now if we have a group, a public group, whom we have to assign that sharing rule, we can select there. So that is why they are saying that we can create a public group and then we can assign that sharing rule to that public group. Okay, so now let's create a public group. So the name of the group is reviewers. Okay, so what we will do, we are going here, we'll just, everything is done through setup, you can see, right? So we can create here new, and what is the label is reviewers, and then I'm sorry. Now they are saying optionally add a description, skip add members for now, and click on save. So now I am going to do a save here. I created a public group. On the public group setup page, click the reviewers public group that you just created. On the public groups detail page, click view summary. Okay, so I'm going to click on this, and then it is asking me to click on this view summary. Okay, now on this page, you can see the sharing rules, report, dashboard, folders, and list views where this public group is used to grant access and the other public groups added to it. You can also manage its membership. So this is how it looks like. This thing which is known as the access summary. Now we can see this page for even users. This is what which is recently launched by Salesforce. It was not there before. I think they launched it last year, or maybe yeah, I think last year, or maybe last to last year, but this is very new. Otherwise, before, when an admin used to work, it was a lot of problem to see, what all reports and dashboard it has. Like, there was nowhere where you can see the summary. So this is a very beautiful view which they have given, which was much needed, I would say. So now they're saying that here we can manage from here. Under all public group members, click add members. Okay, now they are saying to click some members. Okay, and I don't think we have these roles right now. Okay, because we have not created, but we can add any member, right? So let's add some other member, and then we will see that how it goes. Okay, so this is the reviewer public group. Okay, and view all users, view group members. So this all is coming, but we don't have. So they are saying available members, look, and add members. So they are giving that what roles we can add here, or what users we can add here. Okay, so I can add this user, or I can add a role, or I can add a public group. This is how it goes. Now select individual groups, users, groups, or roles. You can include a combination of member type for this public group. Add these members. Role. Okay, they're asking to add some roles for this one. So let's see. I don't think we have these roles. Dev manager, director, product. Yeah. So these are some of the roles which are being created. Okay. So what they are saying is director, product management, director QA, director, product management. Yeah, so I don't have that, but I am going to add some other director, but I cannot complete this hands on, right? Because it will give me an error saying that this role you have not added. So that's okay, just for the hands on purpose I am adding it. And then recruiting manager, but we have this role, right? Recruiting manager we just created, so we can add this. Okay, and then director QA, director product management, like that we have like four roles we have just added. So I'm going to add here one more director. Okay, maybe of direct sales, and then one more. I have added just these four roles in this public group. Now save, define a sharing rule. Once you define your group, you can use it to define sharing rules. Okay, so now they are saying that how we can manage the sharing settings. Okay, so sharing setting we can manage the same way, right? So I what we will do, we are going to go here. Okay, in the sharing settings, and then we are going to create a new sharing rule here. Okay, now which object they are asking to create a sharing rule is review. Okay, and we have to create a new sharing rule whose name will be edit reviews, that who can edit reviews, that we are going to give that access. Okay, so now in this page you can always do find, because there will be a lot of confusion around that uh, oh, somehow the find is not working for me, I don't know why. But you all can do find and see that where is that review. Oh, because I am selecting something here, that's why it is not working. So let me do review. Okay, this was the name, right? Review. So let me see where we have that. Access rule B, it is C, it is coming alphabetical wise, M and Q, right? So it should be somewhere here, but I don't see it here, right? Okay, wait. Let's search more. Okay, review. It was review, right? A review. Now it is working. Um, the search is not working properly. That's okay. What we are doing is uh okay, this was referral, sorry, I was doing wrong search, I think. This is referral. Now referral sharing rules here. Okay, so now I'm going to create a new rule here, and uh this, the name is edit reviews. I'm going to add here this name. Okay, and then it is saying for the rule type you can choose whether the sharing rule is based on the owner or based on criteria that must match to be included. For this rule, select based on record owner. Okay, so there is something which they will ask, that what the sharing rules should be based on record owner or based on criteria. Okay, so criteria means that we have to define a criteria, condition or something, that if this condition is true, then this sharing rule is going to work. Okay, so that is a condition based or criteria based sharing rule. And if we want that the whoever is the record owner should be the type, then we have to select this record owner. So here they are saying that we can do based on the record owner. Select which records to be shared, select a category, and select as users drop down here, public select groups, then select public groups, and then all internal users, so you can share all review records. Okay, so I think they are saying that we can select all these settings, select which records to be shared, select the users. Okay, and then select the access level. So everything we can select, and then we can click on save. Okay, so this is how we create. And then they say that the recalculation will happen whenever you will create a sharing rule. What they are saying, review all error. Okay. Sorry. So I will select here all internal users, and now I think it will be done. Yeah. Okay. So this is how we created a sharing rule. Now, if I will go here in the referral, now you look that there is coming that one new sharing rule is being created. Okay. So this is great job. Now this is only the hands-on challenge where they are saying that we have to. Okay, they are asking us first to create a custom field. Okay, and then we have to create a sharing rule. Okay, so and this sharing rule is, the label is given, they are saying this will be a criteria based sharing rule. Okay, so based on criteria, and now look, they are giving the conditions that how can we give a criteria. Okay, so friends, I would really suggest that please do this hands on. Okay, for now I'm not able to do because I don't have all these users. So but you do this hands on, it is a must. I will try to cover it in my next video, this hands on, because it is very important, where because they are saying that how we can create a criteria based sharing rule. Okay, thank you everyone for watching this video, and I would really say that if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. If you are aiming for Salesforce admin certification, please follow my videos. I'm going to upload some sample questions as well in my upcoming videos, that how exactly the question comes from these topics. Okay, so I have covered in my 4 videos about configuration and setup. I would request all of you to go through all the parts, and then I'm going to prepare some exam questions, that what kind of questions are going to be asked from that particular part, and then I'm going to cover my next topic will be, which will be object manager. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye, have a nice day.